You're watching ProPix Media. This is video 2 of safety of returning home after the fire evacuations. And this also applies to floods and other evacuations and disasters. So we wanted to share with you some of the health concerns that you may not see when you return home. Especially important for pregnant women, small children, seniors, and those with breathing problems or autoimmune deficiencies. You want to be aware that there are airborne particulates that have entered your home from the fire smoke and within the air itself that may not be visible to the regular eye. So you want to be aware that these particulates can cause cancer and other issues, especially, as I said, with pregnant women and those at risk. Now, the carcinogens that can be airborne, in addition to just irritants that can get into the lungs, are very serious. And again, you need to be aware of that if you're a pregnant woman or someone at risk and you have to enter into a premises that has smoke and fire damage. You want to ensure that you're wearing a respirator and at the very least, some kind of a dust mask or face covering. But again, you probably should be wearing a respirator if there is a lot of soot and ash around the home. And keep in mind that these are particulates and matter that you may not see visibly. You also have to keep in mind that as you enter the home, there could be backup from sewer systems. If you're on a septic system, it could have been damaged from the heat. Remember that fires can spread underground as well through tree roots and other underground systems that you want to be aware of. Make sure that you smell for any natural gas leaks. If you are going into a building, I highly suggest turning the gas off at the outside meter and before you enter into the premises. When you do go in after you shut that off and smell any gas, open all the windows and doors, but do not remain inside without some kind of respirator. Let the gas dissipate from the home. Make sure again that you've turned it off at the main meter. When it comes to food in your refrigerator and freezer, although it may still be cold, you want to be aware that if your power has been off, that food may have warmed up and defrosted in the freezer and then refroze or chilled again. So you want to be aware of that because this can also cause food poisoning and other bacteria to form on the food that's in the fridge and the freezer. In addition, if there is damage to the home and or in excessive heat areas, like close to the fires where the temperatures were very high, but you were fortunate enough to have your home or your business saved, you want to be aware that canned foods and other things like that, when they're heated up, even though the can may not look damaged, it could have an impact on the health and quality of the food inside those containers, even though the containers haven't actually broken open. So be aware of any damage or any expansion of the cans, misshapes, stuff like that. So we're going to come back with video 3 in the series to help you stay safe after evacuations and returning home. We send our thoughts and our prayers out to everybody in Hawaii, everybody throughout British Columbia, the Northwest Territories, and elsewhere in the world with unprecedented fires this year. Please be safe. Please follow your guidelines for fire restrictions. And most of all, if you see a forest fire or wildfire burning, do not assume that somebody else has already called it in. It's much better to have many people calling about one fire than nobody calling about it and it growing and expanding. Also, keep in mind of evacuation alerts and orders. Your reluctance to evacuate your home is normal, but given that, when you do delay evacuating, you also delay the fire response. So they need to make sure that areas are clear before they start dropping water or fire retardants in hot zones. So please be respectful of that for the lives of the first responders, of your neighbors, and of course for yourself and family. Take care and stay safe. Again, this message is brought to you by ProPix Canada Media and Carry Movers Limited.